There it is.
Oh god, I really wish I had said nut. Oh, fuck. Anyways, my childish mind. How's it going, everyone? Aw, thank you very much, Amelia Cam, for the follow. I appreciate it. Let's go ahead and kick things off. We're running a little late. Let's get into things. Let's kick things off with a little bit of a recap, shall we? Previously, outside of the dungeon of the Mad Mage, and inside Matashtai's dream, a battle raged between figures of the monk's past over a memory that could decide his future. On one side, members of the Hearthguard that had rescued his family from bandits on the night he had met Valenna. On the other side, Inspired, agents of the Unity and the Dreaming Dark that, to his knowledge, had not been present in the past. Here, on the outskirts of Dalcor, within his dream, Matashtai, as the various members of the Hearthguard, fought to protect his family as he had been unable to do in his past. And protect them he did. But he couldn't protect himself from the dream. The representation of his younger self fell, a bandit's axe in his chest. His sister wailed. In a different time, a different place, Matashtai actually fell here. And the trauma of the event caused a divergence of paths for his younger sister, Liliana. One particular path would lead her on a journey oh so much like the one her elder brother undertook even now. But that is a different story. Back in the dream, the Hearthguard defeated the bandits, defending Matashtai's family, and after a few desperate moments of struggle, they defeated the Inspired as well. But while all this transpired within the dream, there were events without as well. For outside of Matashtai's dream, Ashes, Bones, and Ezrah waited and watched, guarding against intruders. When the attack came, it came blindingly fast, a mere moment to react, as 3 spheres of light hurtled out of the darkness. Ezrah and Bones, moving on instinct, threw their own spheres of light into 2 of the attackers, sending them careening off into the darkness. Ashes was but a moment slower. And though he moved to intercept, the light got past him and into Matashtai's dream. Back within the dream, as the Inspired fell, having nearly torn one of the Hearthguard to shreds, a thing took their place. A nightmarish, serpentine form of raw flesh and hardened carapace. A hulking torso covered in eyes with no real head, and 2 massive pincers. A Sukora Kori had arrived to take Matashtai in his dreams. But the monk was already fighting the dream, and the Sukora had underestimated his resolve. The Hearthguard, the mental representation of Matashtai's will, banded together in a struggle against the Sukora and obliterated the nightmarish entity, freeing Matt's dream from assault and allowing Amislaria to bind the monk. As Matashtai's dream diminished, the party found themselves all gathered. Their moon elf guide told them that the first part of their quest had been completed. Now would come the hard part. They would enter into the inner circle of Dalcor, a place of eternal dreams, a place they might never leave. Matashtai's connection to Valenna would be their guide. Now they just needed to find the missing quarry and escape. Amislaria led them forward, and Matashtai focused on the pulse within his being, the missing space that Valenna had inhabited for so long. The region of dreams shifted around the party. They found themselves in a new place. That is where we fade into our scene. That is where I need to do a little bit of a music shift.
Shift that, bro.
We already rolled for this last time. But
Yeah, what did we roll?
we rolled a 22 with a DC of a 25.
Oh, right.
But I can't remember if we confirmed this or not. But if we did, we can revisit it briefly. If we did not, I would like to visit it. Matashtai, as you're focusing on your connection to Valenna, Amislaria asks you to imagine a moment, a shared moment of your past, right? Not your recent history, not delving through the dungeon, right? But
more wine.
A moment from the years that you spent with Valenna back on Eberron. What do you think about in that instance?
Like specifically like memories from my time with her, or like
Sure.
what do you?
I would assume, right, that's what Amislaria is after. She's not horribly specific when she asks you, right? Her real goal is for you to focus on your connection with Valenna. And in her mind, when she asks you to think about a moment with Valenna from your past, she's probably expecting, some experience that you shared with Valenna, but it could just be an experience that you and Valenna were together for that had a great impact on the both of you. Or it could be something that was more of a personal moment between the two of you, or what have you, right? Again, she's not super specific. She just kind of like asks you, in this kind of like passing way of, hey, talk about a moment that'll help you focus on this and lead us.
Okay.
No pressure. Don't
Make a
fuck up.
backstory on the fly. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of a story to make up here.
You don't have to go. Mitch, as the player, does not have to go into deep detail.
We're gonna go for the first love that Matt ever had, and how she crushed his heart, but Valenna was there to pick up the pieces and talk him through it and help him.
Oh, okay. So now, because I'm a curious cat, I've got to be like, okay, you met Valenna when you were 12, right?
Yep.
How old was Matashtai when he got his first love, or had his first love, right? Also 12, right? No,
also 12.
Look, when did that happen, right? And
we'll say 15.
Had he left home at that point, right? Like, had he gone off to the Presidium at that point?
No. So remember, his parents didn't let him leave
until he was 18. Oh, right. So you were still out on the farm. It had to be someone local then, right?
Yep. Which made it even worse.
Unless it was like a passerby.
He would see her all the time.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Yeah. At all the village events, all the social gatherings.
Yep.
Was it unrequited love, or was it like a young romance that just ended poorly?
Okay, here we go. It was a scenario where she pretended to like him, all as the butt of a joke.
Oh no!
No!
Okay, odd. I actually had I was a part of a conversation about this type of thing at work today.
Oh, really?
Right? Absolutely. 100%. I was a part of a conversation. I can't remember what it was. One of my team members brought up like a movie or a show or something like that, where that was like a big focus, where this individual was like, you know, doing that thing, right?
It's
Mhm.
just monstrous.
Anyways, pretty interesting.
Yeah.
That
But
is
she
that's
wasn't
rough.
interested in him because he was just a backcountry farmer boy.
Bumpkin, yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Then I only date owners. You're just a worker boy.
Just a worker.
Wow.
Look, hold up.
Wow.
His family
But when
owns
I
their
saw her
farm.
work those others, I wondered how she could work mine. Oh,
Why did you go Bill Clinton? What is happening here? It hurts. It hurts really bad.
that's 12-year-old Matt Bill Clinton.
The 12-year-old Matt Bill Clinton.
Perfect.
God,
He's Benjamin Buttoning.
I hate everything about that. Okay. Um,
Oh yeah.
what did Valena do in response to that? Like, how did she help? How did she, right? Like, Valena, a quarry spirit who has worked with other Kalashtar in the past, other potentially great warriors or scholars or diplomats or, various individuals, right? Like, how is Valena going about helping a 15-year-old that she has known for 3 years get over this no, I don't want this poor experience?
I think it would just be her unrelenting compassion, like her willingness to listen to him and kind of comfort him when he was sad and self-esteem was destroyed.
I
And just help
imagine
build him back up.
I imagine Valena is very good at paying people compliments without it coming across as just like buttering them up. Just like whenever every day to day, as you're just doing stuff, working through things, like doing your chores, doing whatever your studies were, etc., right? Like just positively reinforcing you to the point to where it's hard to stay in a negative space for an extended period of time when you have that type of positive reinforcement consistently, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. It doesn't cut it, but it's cool. So keep that in mind as things move forward. Matashtai focuses, right? And you all have been kind of like in your spheres, right? Your little different colored spheres and hues of light, pulled almost kind of like gravitationally behind the slightly larger sphere of Amislaria, your dream guide. And there is a point at which you pass the boundary, you pass the threshold of the outer region of dreams, and you step into the inner core of Dalcor, and that all fades. Almost in an instant, it all fades. You're no longer spheres of light. You are yourselves. You're in your own bodies, and you see around you multicolored landscapes, but not land, right? They're just broken vistas, like these hanging fragments of dreamscapes kind of like dotted out before you, and all between them is like oceans and lakes of stars, and then silver, and then just like pure colors, right? Like there are these inconsistent fragmented landscapes dotting the horizon, and just these vast in-betweens, right? And Amislaria just kind of like takes you in rapid motion, not stopping. And you realize you're still bound to her from a dream standpoint as your guide. She kind of just thinks her way forward through the dream. Every once in a while, you're kind of like vamping, right? So you're kind of like, you'll find yourself on this one vista, right? Cobblestones underneath your feet, but they're all in multicolored hues. And then there will be like a broken castle on one side, and this like crazy like half like horizontal war camp on the left side. And then she'll step, and you're all of a sudden gone entirely from that place, in an entirely new place with a new design, new broken dreamscape. And every once in a while, right, she looks back at you, Matashtai, and she just says, just keep thinking about her, keep focusing on her, talk to us, talk us through things. And that continues for, it seems like, a long time. It's hard to gauge time here. Every time you blink, which seems to be happening in a normal amount of time, right? Like, it's not like you're very slowly blinking or anything like that. You blink about as normally as you would, but it feels like you're losing time, right? Like, you'll blink and it'll be a new space, and you're like, was this the new space we were just stepping into, or has it been a few new spaces that we passed through in that single blink, right? Like, what happened there? It starts to kind of get into your heads a little bit, and you feel very disconnected. There's a strong feeling of disassociation, basically, right? Like, you feel very, like, your vision goes wide, you feel very unfocused, and it's really hard to kind of like stay present. Your head's kind of like swim, and you start to have not intrusive thoughts, but wandering thoughts, right? Just idle thoughts about whatever your characters happen to be interested in. And then you pause again after another jump. And Amislaria is there, and she kind of like doubles over, and she's breathing really heavily. And you find yourself in this kind of like almost nighttime dreamscape. Multicolored cobblestones beneath your feet, this broken clock tower off on the side, and these giant kind of like slowly spinning coins hanging in the air, but they look like they're perpetually falling in this night sky around you. And there's something weird. There's some like bone and hair combination of like this giant creature, but it's all like, the bone has like a dark hue, but the hair has this kind of like pinkish hue to it. It is a nonsensical dreamscape. It doesn't make any sense, and it doesn't seem to have any tied cohesion to it. It's this fragment of a dream from somewhere, right? Amislaria is kind of panting, clearly winded. And she looks back at all of you. And she told you beforehand, right, that failing once wasn't the end of everything, right? But that you needed to find Valena sooner rather than later, because the longer you stayed here, the worse things were going to get. She looks back at you, Matashtai, and she says, all right, we did good there. I think we covered some ground, but I think we've veered off. We need to refocus, okay? We need to, and then you all feel this kind of like pulse. The dream world itself kind of like pulses around you and ripples through your bodies, through your chests.
The
And
Inception theme plays.
And you hear this very loud, distant kind of like bassy noise, this loud horde blaring. And Amislaria looks at each of you, and she says, they're coming. I need to refocus. By time, take care of this. I'll work on where we're gonna go next, okay? And I'm going to bring you guys over to a new map, and we're gonna see how some things go.
Whoa.
Cool. So
All right.
dreamy.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
Time question mark?
Man, look at that snake.
That it looks like Cogsworth, except like
What's-
his grandpa.
Ugh.
I was about to say he's like stoned as fuck.
Okay. Actually, I will say
The
this.
space snails, dream snails.
In this particular instance, a threat is approaching. You know a threat is approaching. Each of you basically has a round to prepare. This is outside of the initiative order. You can move anywhere on this central platform. You see, Amislaria has kind of like positioned herself in between you all, and as she does, you look at her, and her form kind of folds in on itself. It looks almost as if it kind of like becomes two-dimensional, and you like tilt your heads and you look at her as at an angle, and she's gone. Like you can't see her at all, and then you tilt your head back, and it's like you're looking at a picture of her, and she just begins to kind of like slowly spin. And it's incredibly difficult to keep your eyes on her. It makes you nauseous, and half the time you can't see her at all, right? So she is basically like guarding / hiding herself in the thick of things, while she works on reorienting the direction in which you will take for the dream. But you have basically a moment to prepare. So around the room, what would everyone like to do?
I would like to rage, first of all.
Okay. Fantastic.
Also,
The problem with
Ringgold-
raging right now is that it's very unlikely that you're going to get attacked immediately, which means the rage is probably, or that you're going to get to attack, which means the rage is going to fall. So, yeah.
He attacks himself.
I start punching myself.
That's how it's going to be. Okay, fantastic.
Do we have a sense of the direction of this threat? Or is it
Everywhere.
just kind of like
The dream itself.
everywhere?
The dream itself is you realize from here on out, unless you dream yourself into some like weird tower defense scenario, right? Like the dream itself is growing hostile towards you. Everywhere around you is a threat.
Well, then I don't think there's really. All right, I'm just moving my token. Is this walkable ground?
I will say this. This is experimental. Ashes, you're curious. You head over to the edge, right?
Yep.
And as soon as you do, you get this intense feeling of vertigo looking down into the starry sky around you. And you're like, okay, maybe if I like try to bend the dream, it will be fine, but otherwise my conscious or my subconsciousness is going to interpret this me plummeting to my death.
Okay.
So potentially an out, but also probably not runnable. But all of the
Alright,
shit
well,
around.
In that case, I will just spend my turn to transform.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Hell yeah. Anybody else actions that or preparations that they want to take?
Point of inquiry.
Yes.
Do I get the impression that material components will suffice in a dreamlike state?
You get the impression that anything that you would like imagining yourself doing anything that you normally could do would be perfectly acceptable, right? So like if you have those material components, you could easily do it because it's very easy to be like in your consciousness or your subconsciousness to be like, yeah, I can do this because I have the material components. If you tried to do something that you didn't have the material components for in real life, you could potentially still bend the dream to your will, right? But it would take some convincing your own mind to do so.
Second
We
question.
were told not to do that, huh?
You gotta do what you gotta do to the dream to survive. So y'all do you. Second question.
Second question. So normally I live my life in a state of mostly perpetual mage armor.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Would that already be on me, or would I have needed to cast that once I
If you had
turned into my?
if you
my
assuming you were consistently putting it on you from the Haas Narketa, right? Then your conscious mind would assume that you have it, right?
Normally it's one of my spell slots that I'm just normally
burning, then yeah, absolutely.
tracking rather than
As long as
Halaster.
you've already burnt that spell slot, then yes, it would make perfectly plausible sense, right? Because in your mind,
I will be honest, I have not managed my spells on my character sheet for the entire dream journey
no. I don't think that's fine. But like, if you aren't missing a first level spell, I would go ahead and deduct a first level spell and be like, my dream is like mage armored. Absolutely, yeah. That's fine.
So in theory, I could mirror image, and that would be my action. And
yeah, absolutely, sure, 100%.
Good.
Yeah.
Then I have duplicated myself to the number 4.
100%. Matashtai owns.
I don't think I really got anything to do. Oh,
I want
to see if Dreamwolf
like,
can join us.
Ooh, okay.
I'm gonna try and pull up Dreamwolf.
All right. I was looking for a thing. I thought I had it, but I can't remember where it is. I'm gonna do that. Dreamwolf. All right. I need you to roll me a mental saving throw.
Okay. Bam.
His strength.
15. I would say, yeah. Roll me a. Oop, wrong thing.
1d7.
Roll me a. What is it? A 1d8. Yeah, roll me a d8.
Roll 1d8.
Fantabulous. Don't you get to roll twice?
I do.
Yeah.
Bam.
Roll twice.
Oh, make him a big elk.
All right. You throw out a pouch. Hold up a fucking minute. Is this incorrect?
That
oh yeah, it is.
incorrect.
It's just incorrect. Okay. You throw out Wolf, who materializes as a massive elk. And you immediately see Wolf's form kind of like flicker, and you realize you have brought in a subconscious representation of Wolf from the bag of tricks, right? Like subconsciously being like, oh, I can, use a magic item in my dream. And you realize you haven't quite convinced yourself that you should be able to summon another living entity into the dream with you. So you've tricked the dream temporarily, and Wolf is going to disappear probably in a turn or two.
Okay.
So you've just
Great.
bound him by your own subconscious or semi-consciousness, right? You've tricked yourself into being like, oh, it's perfectly fine that he's here. And your brain's going like, wait a second. That doesn't make sense, right? So,
All right, fair.
But you potentially got him for a turn or two. So, Bones, how about you? Any preparations you would like to make?
I turn Dream invisible.
He turns Dream invisible. Fuck yeah. Okay, cool. I'm down with that. Is that just a invisibility, like from your ring of invisibility?
Yeah, from my ring.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from my ring.
I was double checking. Okay, gotcha. Fantabulous.
I'm gonna mark myself as Dream visible. Hold on.
Wonderful. I need everyone to select their tokens and roll for initiative, and I will be right back.
Oh, solid. What? Why are my initiative rolls always such shit?
Hey, awesome initiative roll.
Like, I don't really want to go first, but not laugh.
I have so much ramping up to do. I need to get in there as soon as possible.
Me too.
Shut up.
Damn,
Go get your ass beaten, Elden Ring.
aggressive.
You're so aggressive, Jay. I thought you loved me. Oh, I almost beat Bones. Holy shit.
Yes, you rolled a 12 and I rolled a 6.
And somehow that means I almost beat you.
Yeah,
But
how it
didn't.
works.
So, Mitch, what bullshit are you going to throw at us in your fantasy world that we are unprepared for?
We're not in my dream anymore.
Now they're in the dream world.
Yeah, you guys
The
are just
world.
in the
We're-
dream
We're in
world.
the
This is just
coalescence
plain.
of all dreams.
Oh, shit.
No, everything that happens is Mitch's fault.
Okay.
I mean, that's true.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Right.
But that's true
Actually
regardless if
active.
it's in the dream world or not.
That's fair.
Also
That's
true.
fair.
That's a cause of the whole alien magic thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's fucked up.
It is. How could you do this to your friends and
Yeah.
allies, Mitch?
I'm glad you at least admit it.
All right, fantabulous. You see, coalescing out of the dream around you. 1,
I recognize those.
2, 3, 4, Sukorakori. The first wave against the invaders within the realm of Dalquor. So, let me go ahead and get them selected.
Oh, I gotta roll for Wolf.
Yes.
We can get one charge out of him.
Damn, he can charge? That's cool.
Wolf Elk.
Yeah, Wolf Elk.
He rolled better than Bones.
Yeah, that's. I can't roll good initiative. I can't do it.
What is happening?
I don't know what is happening.
What is the feat that gives you bonus advantage on initiative checks?
Advantage on initiative. Alert gives you +5
think
to
it's-
initiative.
Oh, that. I
Alert.
think that's what
Ooh,
it is.
22
I
and
got
a
advantage
21.
on it 'cause
When
of
I
the
got that
shield.
21 on that Sakura, I was like, oh shit, he got this. But damn, that's y'all rolling high.
There's a fast tiefling werewolf that wants to.
I see that. I
Rip and
absolutely
tear.
see that.
I have to go
Rip and
beat
tear.
my dog's ass.
Hate to see it.
All right.
Being a huge shit.
We are at the top of the round. You see, once more for good measure, you see these serpentine, half flesh, half hardened carapace creatures, multicolored eyes set into this immense torso. No real head, multiple tiny scratching claws, and these two huge pincers. And they just kind of slither up out of the periphery of the dream, and immediately they are lurching towards you with the intention of killing the invaders. Ashes, you hear, as you kind of spring into motion, already at the edge of this kind of little central platform that your party is standing on. As you spring into motion, you hear a voice in all of your minds kind of call out and say, be careful. They'll try to take you. They'll try to manipulate you. Resist the dream. Now that you're with me, it should be easier, but don't let your guard down. Ashes, I need you to roll a mental saving throw at the start of your turn, but your DCs have changed now that you are actually with Amislaria and bound to her. Now that you are all structured together, it is easier to resist the dream. Your DC is a 10 to resist the dream. Your DC to manipulate the dream, however, does remain high. You have to beat a 20. And then anything 5 or below is bad.
Okay, Wiz.
Yep. Well, whatever mental statistic you want to use.
Or won't.
Ooh. Meets it, beats it. Like
Yikes.
somewhat unprepared, right? Like more focused on the preparation of combat, right? Like you hear this call out in your mind and you're like, oh shit, I still have to, and then you feel this kind of like pressure weigh down on you as the dream still tries to manipulate you, but you resist it. Start of your turn, what do you want to do?
All right, start my turn. I immediately write up.
He
So
writes
I
up.
take 4.
What right we using?
I am using. Let's do Thunder. There we go.
Duh.
Thunder.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, both of you.
and then I'm going to immediately rush in. Wait, hold on.
I'm disappointed in all three of you. There's only one correct response to Thunder.
Thundercats.
Imagine Dragons.
Imagine Dragons.
Yeah.
Oh. No, that's definitely like lower on the
That's
list
the
for me.
correct. That's the correct option.
Lower on the
Their
list for
name
me.
has a dragon in it. Come on.
Yeah, we're in
Jerry,
a
does a 30
dreamscape,
hit?
not a dragonscape. Does a 30 hit? Yeah, 30 hits. Just rush forward, cleave into this creature of flesh and carapace. And it doesn't, you see, it has a mouth, right? It doesn't scream audibly. When you hit it, its mouth
Didn't have my
opens
globals
and
on,
the
hold on.
dream warbles around you. Like everything around you just kind of like shakes and shivers.
So that's extra 2 from 13 plus 2 from Feral Might, which I didn't add, and 6 from the Thunder.
What's the total damage?
That is 21.
21 damage from a single hit.
Yep.
From a single hit.
That's very good rolls. It's like
Woo!
real good rolls. All right,
Very nice.
second attack. Here we go.
We've been playing not the PCs for like 2 months now. It feels like.
Here we go.
Right. So
How
I'm
about
like,
half of 30.
oh.
That's a shame.
Yeah, that's a natural
you
one.
hate
Please,
to see
please
it.
confirm that natural one there, my boy.
Well, how's that not reading? Yeah, that is a 1.
Ashes loses the dream arm.
No. But wait, no, I don't want to play this game anymore.
No, not my dream arm.
Where is
And not his drum arm.
my drum?
Draw.
All right.
Okay, you good. What else you doing? Keep swinging?
Well, that's in turn.
Oh, right, because you had a bonus action to write up. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Fantastic. Matashtai. You are up. You see, right, like you have been surrounded by Sukora. But how you want to handle them is entirely up to you.
Okay. I kind of I point Wolf towards the bottom left one, and
Okay.
then I dash up to the top right one.
Ooh, okay. Gotcha. Now you do also experience that slight sense of vertigo, and as you approach the edge, and actually before you move.
I'm immune to vertigo.
Oh, are you? Are you immune to dream vertigo? Is that how that works?
Yeah, I'm immune to
Okay.
vertigo. I
Gotcha.
walk and run on walls and ceilings.
Fair,
I'm
fair
immune.
enough. Fair enough. Well, falling through the eternity of space doesn't affect Matashtai in any
No.
way, shape, or fashion,
No.
right? Obviously.
That's good you
However,
understand.
the dream does try to press down on you on the beginning of your turn. Please roll me a mental saving throw, whatever mental statistic you want, DC 10.
Mental. How about a 10?
Okay, you're both cutting it real fucking close, but good enough. Matashtai dashes across the multicolored cobblestones, leaps the small distance onto this kind of like weirdly sloped and textured horn. It looks like horn. It's got to be some giant horn something, right?
Looks like a carapace of
Directly into the face, or maybe it's a carapace, directly into the face of this Sukora Quarry. What do you want to do?
I commence the smackening.
Smackening commenced.
Smack. Oh no, I don't. Probably miss.
That's a hit. Absolutely.
Okay.
You faced off against these things in your dream. They're not especially well armored, and they're not especially fast. 17 hits, 26 definitely hits. Boom, boom, boom. What else we done? God, dear Lord. Okay.
Welcome back to our level 13 characters.
Anything else?
How we missed you.
Right.
No, that'll be the end of my turn.
Casual. What is that? 29 damage.
I mean, to be fair, 2 of my hits equal 1 of Jay's.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay has to rev up though. Jay has to go into his form, ride up, etc., etc. You just cross the battlefield and go pop, 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 pop. And you're not even all outing either, right? Like,
no, I didn't use anything.
You could do more. Exactly. All right. Ashes, the Sukora.
You use the terms wave 1, so
Ashes, look, you're in the dream and you haven't found Valina. You still have to find Valina. Who knows how many jumps you're gonna have to make, right? Ashes, the Sukora Quarry that you have slashed into, does that horrible warbling wail at you. The dream shifts all around you, and it just immediately strikes out with one of its pincers. So we are gonna pinch. I'm gonna turn some toggles on.
22? No, 21.
Pincer! That's a big miss. Natural
it
one.
Itself.
It's fine. But it does miss with the pincer, so it's gonna try to pinch you again. 19.
Should we make a new rule where if you nat 1 and then get a nat
Miss.
20,
AC
it
is
allows the thing to
21.
hit?
I feel like if you nat 1 and then you nat 20, you get to roll the attack again.
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
All right, not this time, but going forward. Not this
time.
time, but going forward. Okay. You recover
Are these
so
things
well.
even real?
You recover so well that you actually get the attack back. That is the fact that you have
you
20...
turn the flub into a feint.
Exactly. That's
21
perfect.
AC. It's 20 AC, 21 when I'm in form, and then up to 23
if
if
you
I
use
use
a
my
reaction. Yeah. Disgusting. Okay. So
It's a
misses
casual
you with
5 more AC than me.
misses with both of the pincers.
You're unarmored, right?
We'll take a claw attack at you, but we'll have to do so at
Even
disadvantage.
with armor.
Yeah.
Big miss. All right, so the Sukora Quarry is unable to find purchase on this dodgy, well-armored, well-trained. I also want to throw this out there, right? Like, you're all level 13, right?
Yep.
The Sukora Quarries are CR7s, right? So, like, they're not exactly playing the same game as you guys are at this point. I just want to paraphrase that or put that out there, right? Okay, this guy is gonna run forward. He's gonna go 15
They're
there.
playing GTFO.
And I mean he between his options, actually, I don't even think he can't get to Wolf. He can't see Bones. So he goes for the multi-mage. Oh, actually, I lied. He can get to Wolf. So I'll make him choose. 1d2. 1 is Wolf. 2 is the multi-mage. 1 is Wolf. All right. He goes.
You chose wisely.
He goes to the. I actually, I'll commit. It's fine. He goes to the wolf. And he tries to pincer the wolf. That's 22. That's a 22. Yeah, that definitely hits. He pincers wolf. For 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Now that Wolf is pincered, he's gonna try to whips around his stinger. The 9, big miss. And then we'll try to tear into Wolf with his claws at advantage since Wolf is grappled. That is a 21. That's another hit for 11
Wolf is
slashing
not
damage against Wolf.
because Wolf is huge.
Is Wolf huge?
Yes.
Yeah, it says huge.
Oh,
He should be a
he
3x3.
should be a 3x3. That's my bad. I have him on the wrong size. I was looking at him and saying, "Oh, he's large."
God, he's so big.
He's so big. That's so big. His actual wolf form is large. Yeah. Fucking giant elks are unnaturally large,
There
my
we are.
dude. There we go.
Yeah, well,
corrected.
he also has 135 HP. Like, God
I mean,
damn.
Good God.
It's just that's the thing
That's like
about it is
double me.
it's just a beefcake is the thing though, right? Like it's not like he can do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't
right?
do a lot of damage.
Exactly. So a 16, however, still hits even at disadvantage. So you still take the 11 slashing damage and the 5 bludgeoning damage on Wolf. So 16 total damage on Wolf. And then it is Wolf's turn.
All right. Well, Wolf was really excited to charge, but I guess he's
Wolf
not
can
gonna
still
do that.
charge. He's just taking an
No.
attack of opportunity.
But then also, like, no longer allowing Bones to sneak attack this person. So,
I mean,
I'm invisible.
yeah, Bones is,
Oh.
can't be seen. Bones already has sneak attack.
but
Plus,
then
Bones-
it's gonna go attack Ezra if it doesn't die.
Look, that's a
I
lot
was
of
going
buds.
to kill
You,
Ashley's guy.
you do what you want to do.
Try to.
Instead, he's going to.
You realize Bones or Wolf is flickering. Wolf is only going to be around for one turn, right? The 15 that you
well-
rolled is only going to sustain Wolf one turn before your mind's like, wait a second, how did I summon a
Charge.
sentient creature into my dreams?
He charge.
He charged.
Ram.
Hey,
Bam.
Ram! That's a hit. Yeah, 24 hits. Absolutely. Jesus. An extra.
No,
do you
you
want to take the?
Roll 2d6.
Okay.
And ram damage.
Ram damage.
24
Whoa,
damage.
That was well rolled, actually.
It was. And
Nice.
then roll a DC 14 strength saving throw.
DC 14 strength saving throw.
Sorry, are you talking about the ramage? Is that what
The
you're talking
ramage.
about?
Very
Hit him
nice.
with the ramage.
Very good ramage. Yes.
Damage.
He makes it. He does not fall
like ramage.
prone.
And that is the end of Wolf's turn.
That was the end of Wolf's turn. As at the end of Wolf's turn, you see Wolf shimmer, shift, and then dissipate.
It's fair.
Why?
Now, you do get the sense that you could try again, and again, depending on how you master your like subconscious, you could keep Wolf out longer, but because he is an actual sentient creature that your mind knows you have no way of summoning here, it takes convincing to like keep him there for a longer time, basically. Because you're basically summoning a mental representation of him from your mind into a place where you don't have a lot of dream power because you're not in your dream anymore. You know?
It's fair.
Bones! Shade in the graveyard. You're
Hello,
invisible,
that's
and
me.
it seems like these guys can't see you.
I'm invisible.
So that's good.
Invisible.
I wasn't paying attention. Can you tell me who hit theirs the hardest? I don't need to know numbers. I just want to know who
They
hit-
all hit theirs about equally. Approximately
Including-
equally.
including the wolf.
Yeah, all of them got hit pretty approximately equally.
I see. Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, no one.
Okay.
Everyone was like in the high 20s, low 30s. No one was like 50s or 60s or anything like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
All right. Well, I guess I will.
We haven't unleashed the sneak attacker or the chain lightninger.
I guess I will double dag into this one that is right next to us.
Okay,
So he
sure.
doesn't go for my ally. It will be thusly.
Thusly.
I do not have my cool dag,
No cool dags.
so
Oh,
I
right.
have my
No,
own
no cool dag.
Disappointing.
I don't
Sure.
have the most cursed dag.
The dagger that everyone told you not to fuck around
Oh,
with. Got it.
well, before you do anything on your turn, please roll a mental saving throw. DC 10.
I rolled a 15.
15.
Does that mean I
So
win?
perfectly fine. No issues. You do not master the dream. The dream does not master you. Good to go. Do whatever you want to do.
That's disappointing. Okay.
Gotta roll higher for more mastery.
Understandable. Okay. I'm going to do a double dag attack. At advantage for the first one, then spike. As a 25 hit.
25
Are
definitely
you
hits.
throwing or are you in melee?
I'm whipping it.
Okay.
Whipping.
It's whipping that dag.
Whipping good.
So snake damage for that.
Snake damage.
I am now visible.
You're now
I'll take a
visible. It
Sharpshooter
whirls
spike.
around at you after the dagger stabs into its back and then disappears and reappears on you.
I will take a offhand sharpshooter gore attack. I will just roll a normal offhand attack, but if it hits, it is gory.
It's gory.
All
It
right,
hits.
Please enjoy your 1d4 damage at the beginning of your turn.
He's got
You are
the thing
wounded.
on him. He is wounded. All right.
And I
Anything
will
else for your
put
turn?
my back next to Ezra's.
Defending the mage. Very nice. All right, Ezra, you're up. At the start of your turn, please make a mental saving throw.
29.
Ezra, what
Wow.
do you talk to me? Ezra, having had a little bit of experience in the dream itself, in dreams, since this has all started, you feel a surge within you as the dream begins to weigh down upon you, tries to manipulate your capabilities in this moment, and you, whether you still yourself or you tap into like some sort of reserve or whatever the case is, you realize like you are in the right headspace to overpower the dream and kind of like will what you want. What do you want? What do you want to try to do in this moment?
I want to shift the dream, this cloudy, ethereal space, to turn into like a quicksand around the opponents to the point that they're restrained.
Ooh, okay. So you're gonna try to twist the dream and affect all of your opponents so that things are bound against them. I am going to say, make charisma is your highest mental statistic, right?
Yes, sir.
Roll me a charisma, straight charisma check.
And I choose to utilize my ability and re-roll it.
If that's a thing that you can do, absolutely. If you can use sort points to re-roll ability checks, then absolutely. 100%. But you must use the new roll.
That's true.
So do you want to give up on the 13? Oh fuck! God damn it!
Yes, I do. Yes, I want to give up on the 13.
Oh, I was perfectly happy with you setting the DC 13 strength check for them to break out of the restrain.
What about DC 23?
I'm significantly less pleased about the DC 23 for them to break out of being restrained. In this moment, Ezra masters the dream, and the dream is caught off guard by the intensity of Ezra's focus. it is used to pressuring creatures, not having creatures pressure it, right? And in this moment, Ezrah is able to turn back on these creatures. Typically, regardless of what happens within mastery of the dream, it can only last so long. But because you rolled a natural 20, it's going to last a little bit longer than it otherwise would, right? So in this particular case, all of these motherfuckers are now restrained. I'm going to put the little net on them, and if they want to try to break out of their restraint, it is going to be a DC 23 in order to try to do so. That's just the start of your turn. That's just you fucking the dream over. What do you want to have happen?
Weird inquiry. Maybe
Or sorry,
this
what
is
do you
more
want
to the
for
group. Maybe this is more towards the DM, just because all of us suck at remembering shit. Did we get any impression from the last quarry or information we have received from Matashtai as to weaknesses or things that they are resistant to? Like, just general...
Matashtai tried to
structure?
recall in his dream, but was unable to, right?
Did we experience any of it in the last one that we were facing? Weaknesses or
No.
resistances?
Yeah,
Okay.
no. I think the answer to that question is no, and Matashtai failed in trying to recall something for his. I would say you, as the kind of like library kid, if you want to, you could make a history check, but it's going to be at a high DC and at disadvantage.
Hi.
25. Or 10. 25. Gotcha. 10.
I'll take
yeah.
the 25 if you want to do that.
Look. Get out of my head, Charles. No, the 10's just not gonna quite cut it, right? Like it's that scenario of like you probably
Dreamscapes
after
have not been my focus.
well even like after meeting Matashtai and maybe talking to him a little bit, it makes sense that you maybe like read a little bit. Oh, hey, here's this book about Halaster and Quarry. I'll read a little bit, right? But it was more like probably a general history book, not like a detailed bestiary type scenario, right? So nothing that immediately jumps out to you. That's not to say that there isn't anything, just nothing that you're aware of immediately.
Is it safe to assume that the one that Bones just mangled looks the worst out of the three of them?
You do know, generally speaking, right, like, when it comes to hurting people, the two people in your party generally best at hurting people are Ashes and Bones. Ashes tends to take a while to rev up to where he's really hurting people. Bones hurts people at the drop of a hat. So, yes, in this particular instance, it's probably more likely that Bones' target got gimped. You know? You know how a rogue sneak attacks things, so, you know.
Yep.
Snake.
Knowing I've got mirror image up and I've got Bones at my back, gonna kind of shift and look over my shoulder and throw my skeletal hand back at the one that he was eviscerating.
Gotcha.
27.
Yeah, 27 hits. Fuck yeah. 19! Dear lord, that poor
Does
Sakura.
necrotic do...
Necrotic does not seem to do less or more or anything. You just rake your skeletal... Yeah, you rake your skeletal hand across, you realize it seems to be affecting the creature, it seems to be leaving these necrotic furrows. You see this kind of like dingy pulse about the creature and like, oh, right, it's not going to be able to heal now. Everything seems to be affecting it appropriately, but not more.
It's the end of my go.
Awesome, fantastic.
I wish I could have done more.
Holy shit. Okay, top of the round. This guy's fucking restrained, so he's gonna roll a strength check to try to beat a 23. He's gotta. This is the problem of making bestiary stat blocks and not putting in skills. I'm gonna own it. This guy's in skill. Oh, he doesn't care. He breaks free of his restraint.
This is horseshit, Jeremy. I felt like I did something cool and you took it all away from me.
Okay, look, the only way he could do that is by critting. And it's only one of them. And it took his action, so that is his turn, but he will...
Is the chat log denoting crits and failures?
For us, it is. I'm seeing greens and
it's
reds.
not highlighting crits
It's
or
not doing it for
failures
you?
anymore for me.
Ooh,
Maybe get your
weird.
shit fixed.
Yeah, maybe I should get my...
Reluck? Maybe?
This guy
might have to reload,
slithers
yeah.
across. This guy is he's just gonna take disadvantage attacks against Matashtai, right? Like, this monk's in his face. He doesn't feel any reason to like try to the dream swirls around him, restraining him, right? Like, kind of like sinking him into this carapace or horn that he and Matashtai are fighting on. He's just gonna try to grab the monk. Get lucky. 11. That's a big miss. 15. Also a miss. Super disadvantage claws. 17? No, 9. 9! Why did I say 11, 15, and 17? It was a 9, 10, and 9. It's all bad across the board. No chance
Consistent.
for survival.
Get wrecked, nerd.
The dream at the start of the turn.
Oh, fuck.
The entirety of the dream, the region of Dalcor, not just your individual manipulations of the dream, the Dalcor itself rolls against you all.
Makes sense, yeah.
Then I will it not to.
If you were to succeed on your turn, you could use a success on your turn to try to keep the dream from doing something on its next turn. Absolutely.
Ooh.
So that's a
I'm curious.
pre-planning kind of concept. This thing it's gonna roll at a +5, right? It needs to beat a 20. Its DC is 20 to adversely affect you all, right? So it has a 25% chance basically. It needs a 15 or higher. So, it got an 18. All right. Group vote.
Bullshit.
1 or many. If you vote 1, it will affect one person, but it will be a more drastic effect. If you vote many, it will affect everyone, but it will be a weaker effect.
1.
1.
All right. Everyone rollies. Whoever gets the lowest gets it.
Let's fuck somebody.
Oh,
really
shit.
bad. It's
Uh-oh.
probably me.
Yeah.
Ah! The bones!
I hear Mitch say, "Oh shit," and then I look and I'm like, "No, he's a 12. We haven't seen one of."
You're right. Okay. Bones.
Hello.
Positioning, damage, or opportunity.
I like it. I like it.
It's a dream, right? So it's constantly
Yep.
fucking with your headscape. It's constantly manipulating you, twisting, trying to jerk your chain. Do you want,
Giggity.
right? Like, do you want it to hurt you? Do you want it to reposition you? Or do you want to give the dream an opportunity for something else?
I would like it to reposition me.
That's a choice.
It is.
And Bones is falling for the next 3 years.
1d9 for direction.
Roll me a
28.
1d6 for distance and a 1d4 for direction.
Oh, cardinal.
It's a little hanging lippo. Okay, that's 25 feet to the north. 5, 10, 15, 20,
into the void, or-
25. You are right in the center of the gap. So, Bones immediately shifts, is no longer in between you and the Sukora, Ezra. And Bones, you find yourself close to both the edge of the main platform and one of these like horns or carapaces or whatever it is, and falling, right? Because you do kind of like just let yourself go into this space. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. The DC is low. It's only a 12.
Come on, it's a
That's
dream.
fine.
He gets
I
coyote
believe
time,
can
right?
fly. I rolled a 22
All right. North or south?
south.
Okay. You grab onto the southern platform. You are hanging there, but you are holding yourself easily, right? Like you're not in any danger of falling unless something comes and fucks with you. Ashes, you're up.
Yeah. Fair
All
enough.
right, here I go. I'm just gonna keep swinging on this thing. Is there any advantage because it's restrained? Is that a thing, or is it just normal?
Absolutely.
Advantage.
Advantage.
Okay, here we go. Swing from the table side of my heart. It is a 31. I'm gonna assume that hits for 17 damage total,
Great.
of which some is thunder.
Great.
Next one.
Keep going.
Alright.
Yeah, keep going. These things are hardy.
All
I
right.
got 100 plus HPs.
17
Hits.
hits for an additional 18.
Great. Still standing.
And I will use my bonus action to swing once more again
Hits.
for 27 and tack on another final 16.
You're just hacking this thing. You see it. The hair that you're kind of like standing on begins to like wrap up and strangle around this creature, and it looks confused, right? And you just begin to kind of like swing into it, just like hacking into it. And you can hear Zilara kind of like singing, like muffled in your mind, right? The way she gets when she gets in battle, but significantly quieter, right? Because she's actually back on, on Faerun, right? Whereas you kind of like still have this mental link with her, so you can kind of just barely hear her, but she's just, she's in kill mode, right? So.
Yeah.
You're hacking into this thing, and after a couple of hits, I think this is like your 5th hit on this thing, you're slashing and gouging into its body, and it's starting to like not bleed profusely. It's not like rainbow colors come out of their wounds, but there are multiple colors coming out of the various wounds. Like you'll cut one
It's like
and
the
red will
food
come
and
out,
Hook.
and then you'll cut another, and then pink will come out, and then you'll cut another, and this kind of like pus yellow will come out, right? Like that type of scenario.
My favorite.
So it's just disgusting, right? And very disconcerting. It looks now at this point as if this creature is bloodied.
And I'm like almost looking at it, almost confused, like, what the fuck? Intern.
Very nice. All right, Matashtai, you're up.
All right, I continue my assault against this quarry,
You're gonna salt this big slug?
this abomination.
Yeah.
Bam.
These guys have a
Bam.
14 AC. Y'all just keep swinging. Like, get the fuck out
Okay.
here.
And then I'm gonna flurry of blows.
Well, if you just tell us the
24
AC,
damage.
we don't have to ask anymore.
Well, I don't like to tell you the AC initially. I like you to kind
I
of like
missed one.
get to it. Oh, you do miss one. Oh no, you don't. This guy, you have advantage against this guy. He's restrained.
All right.
Yeah. So just count that 13 as along with the 21. There you go. There you get the crit. So 7 bludgeoning
right.
damage, and then whatever that crit is.
And then I think I can apply Hand of Harm because I flurry of blows.
Look, yeah, you can.
Okay.
Crit fish. Fish crit.
Yeah.
Critter City.
Hand of Harm. Bam.
I feel like it's
Bam.
been so many decades since you hand of harmed anything. Normally, you're always hand of healing someone.
I actually need to be using it more because I get a free Hand of Harm with Flurry of Blows.
Ooh.
Do you?
Nice.
You get a free one?
In addition, when you make
Because he
an
burns the
Flurry
key
of Blows,
point
you
to
can use
flurry
Hand
of
Harm.
blows.
Oh, well, right. But you get a free hand of harm or a free hand of healing, right? So like that's what I'm saying is normally
So
you do a lot
you
of
can
hand of healing.
You can replace each of the unarmed strike with your use of Hand of Healing without using key points for the healing.
Yeah.
In addition, you make an unarmed strike with Flurry of Blows. You can use Hand of Harm.
Yeah.
So like I can get rid of the hits and do healing. I can heal with one and harm with the other.
Yeah. Cool. Anyways, you wail into this thing.
That was a good bit of damage.
Bunch
24.
of like you're not cutting, right? Like or piercing like ashes and bones do. But you're kind of like well, actually, I guess technically you're piercing with your Tumbakiri. But like this
60
thing,
damage. God damn.
this thing is alive with bruises and like cracks across its body, and it is still like being dragged down by the dream itself, in this odd kind of twist where the dream was trying to fucking work against you guys and is now working against its defenders. Yeah, you beat the shit out of this thing, still standing. Anything else for your turn?
No.
No. Fantabulous. Ashes, the
I'll be right
Sakura
back.
Quarry in front of you, having been slashed and hacked into, being entangled by the dream itself, doesn't care. Just reaches out with its massive pincer, trying to take you to the ground. 12, big miss.
12 miss.
11, big miss. Claws. 19, big miss.
Miss.
That is all it can do.
Those are close.
This guy takes 1d4 damage and makes a Constitution saving throw, right?
Yes.
Constitution saving throw 16.
Success. Still takes
Success.
1d4.
Still takes 1d4, but is no longer wounded. Yartar. There it is.
Ooh, max damage.
Nice. Little extra something. It's gonna try to. It doesn't have any targets in its reach, so it's gonna try to.
It's
pull-
also restrained right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Since it doesn't have anyone, it's gonna try to
Gotcha.
pull out of the.
I got scared for a
dream's
second,
effect.
Jeremy.
11, big no. Bones, you're up. You are dangling over the edge, never in real danger of falling. You're too quick, quick-footed, quick-handed for that, right? But the dream did try to kind of like catapult you off, and you realize that's a little dangerous. What do you want to do?
I'd like to pull myself back up.
Easy peasy. Same thing as like working with prone, half your movement to get up.
I'm up.
Mhm.
I'm down to 15 feet. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
He's gonna whip it anyways.
We got two boys. Neither of them are super hurt. But Ashes is pretty hurt.
I would say here. I'll go and actually mark these. Like you guys are unleashing on things. Like several of the Sukora are already bloodied.
Oh, he's restrained, you say, still?
Yes. Only
is-
one of them broke out of their restraint, and that's one of the
one
ones
we
on the
have
central
put
panel.
the least attention on, of course.
Well-
That's being restrained is it aligns with my ideals.
It
Well,
does.
Yeah, does it?
It does. That means you get advantage.
So I will be making advantage attacks on the restrained man.
Fair enough. Which restraint, man? There's so many of them.
The one closest to us. I was gonna finish off Ashes, but if ours is hurt too, we
Okay,
might
sure.
as well.
Yeah. All right, so you're going to the one to the south.
The one to the south.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
I will throw a dagger.
Dag.
This one. Dagger. I
Did
rolled
we
a-
not have
Yeah.
to roll mental checks this round?
Oh yeah.
Doesn't seem like it.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
It seems as if the dream alternates on whether or not you are influencing it or it is influencing you. Now that you have a dream guide,
I was excited
dream-
to influence it in the way that it does not get to influence us.
now that you are with the dream
Yeah.
guide, the rules tweak a little
I'll
bit.
have to stay away from
Gotcha.
several more.
9 and 17. Yeah.
Oh, wow, thank you.
When
I love
Spike
you.
slams into this thing's one of its central eyes, and again it opens its mouth, doesn't scream, but does this whole warble. The dream shifts and begins to shake around you. You actually see, especially towards the center of this central platform, where there are significantly smaller cobblestones. You see them begin to like do this, right? Do this kind of like vibrating, like wobbling thing. As
Oh my
this creature
God.
is just like horrendously, grievously wounded by your assault
Oh, it's
and
screaming?
wailing.
Screaming? I didn't mean to say that one. He's screaming? I will activate the Whales of the Grave to go to the man next to him. Enjoy your 12 damage.
Okay, very nice.
I will take that down. Chow! And then I will offhand sharpshooter.
Okay.
Woo! Still advantage, because he's still restrained.
19, hella. Yeah, that definitely hits.
19. Alright,
And
that would be 15 more damage.
another 15 damage. It is
And
it is
wounded.
soaked in its multiple wounds. Blood or whatever viscous bodily fluids come out of these things. You swear like one of the fucking like wounds looks like it's leaking pink cotton candy, basically. So it's a little fucking concerning. But it looks just horrendously, brutally wounded, but it's still slithering. Well, it's restrained, so it's not quite slithering, but it's trying to. Alright, anything else for your turn?
That's what I can do.
Alright. You don't want to use your remaining movement or anything?
I do not.
Okay. Ezrah. You fucked the dream up there. Holy shit. What do you want to have happen
better.
now?
What are you talking about?
You manipulated the dream greatly for you and your allies.
I made it better.
Mhm.
I'm gonna see my boy being shunted to the north and then climb back up. And I'm gonna come over to hang out with him.
Yeah, that's I totally want to hang out with Bones. I don't want to be in the center alone.
Yep. And then I continue to give a hand to this restrained boy that we've been working on.
27. It's too much. He another rake of the necrotic claws, the various daggers that have punctured him. He is leaking bodily fluids profusely in multiple different colors, hues, and consistencies? ? And there is this moment where he's kind of like struggling. The pavement, the pavestones underneath him are kind of like shifting around, and he's kind of like slithering to the side and trying to like dig his pincers in to keep himself up. He takes a dagger, takes another dagger, gets raked by the claws, and it cracks like it or it like takes the strength out of one of his pincers, and he goes down on one pincer. And it's too much in that instance. The dream subsumes him and just drags him down, crawling into itself. And he's
Then he got
gone.
crawled on. Ooh, shit.
He's gone.
Goodbye.
Anything else for your turn?
Less exciting than the last time.
All right. This guy is the only not restrained guy. He looks at the situation. He sees a Catman on the edge whipping dags. He sees a lightning-streaked elf boy casting spells.
Half elf boy.
And he sees a wolf guy on the side that is in range and possible to be flanked. So he looks at you two and then darts over and slithers up behind Ashes.
Good time
instead.
for Jay to walk away.
Right, perfect time. Because he is flanked, he will actually have advantage on this. So pincer attack 24. I think actually
He cannot dodge that.
yeah,
Nope,
he
that's
cannot dodge that, right? So even if he uses his reaction, yeah, it's
24.
24
You
on
cannot
you.
dodge.
I'm being accosted.
You are being flanked.
Fondled.
What, you mean
Yes,
you
no,
can't get to
24 will
25
hit me.
AC?
Say what?
Roll damage.
Roll damage? Yeah, because you have a 21, and if you pop your reaction, you can go to
pop
23.
it up to 23. I can't
Yeah,
get it to
gotcha.
24.
He can dodge everything up to 22 in theory.
You take
Man,
4
what a
bludgeoning damage, but more importantly,
You
Is
is
you
grappled.
magical
you
damage?
are grappled. It is not magic damage.
I take 2.
You take 2. So
And yet are still grappled.
very
Yeah,
importantly,
but you're about to
you
get your
are
skull
grappled.
sucked out, so
And
You know.
now, since you are grappled and it has a remaining pincer attack, it's going to replace that pincer attack with a stinger attack.
Mince
At
the
advantage,
sucking.
15. Big fucking miss. Cannot for the life of me.
That's a
Grappled.
failed sucking.
It still can't hit you. And it's gonna, in frustration, it will use its claw attack again at advantage, both because you're flanked, but also because you're grappled. God,
That's going to miss as well, Jeremy. You're gonna have to roll better, buddy.
So we've got a rule for if you roll a critical failure but followed by a critical success. What happens if you roll back-to-back critical ones and then you roll another critical one?
I'm gonna say I don't even
explode.
I'm gonna say I don't even roll the other one. That's just an auto confirmation on the
Okay.
critical failure, right?
Sure.
So I'm gonna say, Ashes, do you want a free swing at this, or do you want to be automatically broken out of your grapple?
Let's do the auto break.
Okay. Like this thing fails so badly as its claws scrabble up your back. They just clink, 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 clink into your thing, into your breastplate, and you realize like you just shift, twist, push, and throw your arm up and over the pincer and shove it off of you. You are no longer grappled by this creature.
Nice.
Holy fuck. Alright. Sukora Kori against Matashtai again is just gonna swing from the... Anyways.
bottom of his heart.
Damn. Does not confirm. Swings again. 23 will hit, I think. Okay, so 23 hits for 9 bludgeoning damage, and Matashtai is now grappled. And it doesn't have any pincer attacks anymore, so he can't stinger you, but he can advantage claw you, or not advantage claw, he can normal claw you, because he would have disadvantage from the restrain, so now he has normal. Oh my god, so many natural ones from me tonight.
There
Okay.
are 4 7s in the chat right now.
Dear Lord. Okay. Alright. That's fine. That's it. Okay. I think at this point, at the top of round 3, as these Sukora Kori have, the group has gone into the central core of Dalcor in search of Valena. They've moved well, but kind of gone a little off aim, right? Like a little off focus, as kind of like said by Amislaria. They are assaulted by Sukora Kori, by the Dream, as Amislaria is trying to regain her bearings, right? I think it is at this point, at the top of the round, as the players now get to go back and gain a chance to manipulate the Dream, because at that point that we will take our break and we will be back in just a little bit with more Dungeon of the Mad Mage. We'll see you in just a few. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.